Good morning everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today is Monday, it's 9 AM and I am about to do my makeup, so I thought we could do it together. I asked on Instagram over the weekend for some questions to answer while I was doing my makeup. I actually decided to do the anonymous question link thingy because I thought it would be quite funny to see what questions you guys want to ask me when I don't know who's asking them. And I've got a really good selection, so I thought I would literally just go through the questions, answer them, and show you the products I'm using and do my makeup with you. So I've got no makeup on. I've just done my hyaluronic acid and moisturizer, which is what I use every single morning on my skin. And I also used a little ice roller this morning because my skin was feeling very puffy. After a weekend of lots of wine and late nights, I was definitely needing some ice roller on my face. Got an iced coffee to take me through this video, so let's get into it. Also, I've got the washing machine on in here, so if you can hear it, I do apologise. I hope it's not too loud. I'm sat in my new office slash guest room, which I have literally spent every single day in here. I love it so much. This sofa is so comfortable. It's from IKEA and I feel like you just wouldn't think it would be comfy, but it is. It's like a cloud. I love it. Okay, so let's get into makeup. I've got all my makeup here. So first of all, I'm going to do my base, which I've been using these two products for months now. I've been using the Rose Inc Skin Enhance Luminous Skin Tint for ages, literally since spring, I think. This is my third bottle. I absolutely love it, and you can use this on its own. I sometimes mix this into my moisturizer if I just want a really natural look. It's incredible, I love it. And then this is another product I've been using since kind of like the summer. It's the Sculpted Amy Connolly brand, and it's the Tint and Glow Skin Enhancer. It's got SPF 30 in it, and it's just a really gorgeous colour. It's quite thin, it's quite easy to blend. I just love it. It's not too thick and heavy, but it's got a really nice bit of coverage and colour. So I mix these two together, and I'm quite pale at the minute. I've got like my leftover summer tan, but it never ever stays on my face. So I like to kind of blend it in, warm it up a bit on my face so that you can see my face is much paler. So I always put a little bit on the back of my hand, so I'm just going to do a little dot on the back of my hand like that, and then the same with the Rose Inc. I just do two tiny little pumps of that. And then using the Rose Inc, I think this is the number 3 brush. This is really dirty, I really need to clean my makeup brushes today. I just kind of like blend them together, and then I just disperse like all the product around my face just to get like an even coverage, and then I'll start blending. Okay, so question number 1. This is quite funny. How many selfies do you take a day? I don't really take selfies. Like, I never really take like face selfies. I probably take them like for my stories. Maybe I would do like 2 a week sometimes. But I do more like outfit selfies. I probably do those every day, but I don't really take like selfies of my face every single day. It's usually just like if I'm in the car and I really like my makeup, or I don't know, you know, some days when you think like, oh, I look quite nice today, I would take a selfie, but I don't take them every day, no. The most embarrassing thing you've ever done. Okay, so when I got this question through, I was actually speaking to my mum about it, because I was thinking like, I can't think of something embarrassing that I've done, and I don't really get that embarrassed. When I was younger, I used to get so embarrassed by anything, like even just going to the toilet on my own in a restaurant when I was young. I would get so embarrassed because I just felt like everyone was staring at me. But now I could honestly fall over, spill a whole coffee on the floor in front of a crowd of people, and I just wouldn't really be that embarrassed. But probably the most embarrassing thing I can think I've done is for my 16th birthday, I begged my parents to let me have a party. And where my schools were, everyone had parties all the time, and they were all they weren't just like normal house parties, they were like big parties. They always had a theme. Sometimes people would get like a DJ, or they'd have a bar, and they were always really fun. So I begged my mum and dad to let me have a party, and they said yes. So I had it in my house, my old house, which if you've watched my vlogs, you will probably remember what my old house was like. And I had a James Bond theme, so it was like black tie, all the boys wore suits, all the girls wore like black or white dresses, and then I wore a gold Celeb Boutique bandage dress. If I can find a picture, I will put it on screen because I looked so nice. So funny. But I was so excited for this party and I was so nervous because I was inviting like 100 people to my house. I didn't know how it was going to go. Sometimes things go out of hand, like you just don't know what's going to happen. So I ended up not eating that day. I didn't eat anything because I was just so nervous. I was setting up, and then I had a couple of my friends over to get ready, and we were like, oh my god, we've got an hour till people arrive. We weren't ready. I needed to shower, like everything. So it was a massive hurry. People started coming and I wasn't ready. I was so nervous. So we did a couple of shots before of like vodka. When I was younger, I used to drink literally vodka straight and it was like normal. Like it didn't touch the sides. I was fine. Why is it that when you're young, you're so robust to alcohol? So I ended up getting way too drunk. Straight vodka on an empty stomach is not a good idea. And I ended up being sick and being put to bed at like 9:30 at my party. And I literally was in bed for 2 days, severely ill, and I have never been more embarrassed. I missed my whole party, and the next day I had one of my friend's sisters came to do like photography of the event, so we had like really nice photos of everyone, and I didn't remember anything. There was like barely any pictures of me, and I just said to everyone like, did you have a good time? Everyone was like, it was amazing, we had so much fun, it was such a good night. It's like, great. So I did a party for everyone else and I wasn't even there. That's probably the most embarrassing thing I think I've ever done. Okay, I'm just gonna go over a couple of little blemishes with my NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. I absolutely love this concealer and I have used this for years now. Jack's sister got me onto it and I will never go back. Okay, next question. Do you like living in a flat? Yes, I do. I think it completely depends on where you live and your lifestyle, because if you live in a city, I think a flat is incredible, and especially if you're somewhere like London, it's going to be very difficult and very expensive to get yourself a house. I really like living in a flat because I'm home on my own quite a lot, and this is the first time I've ever lived like away from my mum. So it's nice to know that there's other people in the building. It does feel very safe. I mean, it's pretty safe around here anyway, but it's just really nice to know that I've got someone upstairs, people across the corridor. I can go and ask for help if I need to. It's quite a nice feeling for me. But I definitely do feel like after the last 10 months, now I've lived on my own with Jack, I've spent a lot of time in this flat on my own, I now feel very comfortable, very easy. I think I would do absolutely fine if we had a house instead of a flat. But yes, I do like living in a flat. I think for me personally and Jack, there are a lot more negatives than positives, mainly just for our lifestyle and just like the way that we are. It's just quite a lot of elements to living in a flat that just don't really suit us, but I do love it, and it's something that I'm so glad we've done, because now we know what it's like to live in a flat. We can say that we've done it. We're always gonna have this time in our life where we moved out from home, we lived in the flat. It's always gonna be such a nice memory. Next question. What time do you go to sleep? You get up so early. So I don't always get up so early. Most of the time I will wake up between like 6 and 7. Some days I will end up sleeping till 8. Sometimes I let my body like wake up when it wakes up. But I do go to bed quite early, so that's probably why I find it easier to wake up. Jack's alarm goes off at like 5ish, so sometimes I wake up with him and I'm ready to start my day, especially if I've got a really busy day or I'm going into London. I need to get up early to get there. But we usually make sure that we are in bed by 9 o'clock. Like, we don't watch TV after 9 o'clock. We are in bed. Sometimes we'll be chatting for a bit, but yeah, in bed at 9 is always what we do. Okay, so that is literally my base done. I just use the skin tint and concealer, and now I'm going to do some bronzer. This is a really old Clinique bronzer. I absolutely love it though. It's in the shade 2 Sunkissed, and it's just such a good bronzer shade for me. I don't like them too ashy or too sparkly, and I just absolutely love it. So I'm going to just pop this basically all around like the edges of my face, just to really warm it up. Bronzer makes such a difference. Like, that looks so much more healthy than that side. I actually never used to use bronzer, and when I went to Ibiza with Georgia in the summer, I started using her bronzer because I looked so pale, and I was just completely converted. It was just like transforming my makeup. Like, you can really see how much more life my face has. Because I am quite pale, I am going to bring the bronzer just down into my neck a little bit, just to blend it in. I almost just try to blend the bronzer like through my whole face, just so that it's like a really even blend. It doesn't look too muddy or doesn't get stuck to too many areas. Okay, so that is the bronzer done. I'm then going to add some blush. I switch my blushes around quite a lot, but the one that I'm using at the minute that I have been loving this year is the Rose Ink Lip and Cheek colour in the shade Azalea. You can see, like, this is destroyed. I have used it so much. I really need to get a new one. And I just use like a normal fluffy kind of like powder brush to put this on. But I love it. I think it's such a gorgeous colour. And I always put my blush like on my cheekbones quite high up. And then I kind of like push it into my skin. I really hope that the washing machine is not annoying in this video, because I'm gonna have to film it again if so. I don't know why I even put it on. I should have waited and put it on after, which was very stupid of me. So I like to put quite a lot of blush on because I just absolutely love blush. I feel like sometimes it looks a bit crazy, but I just love it. I think it really kind of like finishes your face. Like, it brings out so much colour. It just, I love it. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so there is my blush done. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I add my Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pillow Talk. Literally just a couple of dabs on my nose and the high points of my cheekbones, and I'm just going to use this same brush to blend it out that I used earlier. If my skin is feeling quite dry and like dehydrated, I always use this because it just adds such a nice glow without looking like a highlighter. It doesn't have like a glittery or like a pearly sheen. It's just more of like a subtle glow. And it blends into my blush really nicely. I also always, and I don't know if this makes a difference to my makeup, but I always layer my makeup. So like, now I've done my highlighter and blended it in with that brush, I'm like, oh, the blush is looking a bit flat now, so I'm going to go back in with a little bit more. Okay, I just paused for a minute because the washing machine was nearly done and it was going wild. So it should be nice and quiet now. Very apologetic about that. Next question, how do you afford everything? So I save my money. I save, I plan, I work hard to earn my money. And I save. I always save. I have a list of things that I have on my mind. I always make sure that I go through my wardrobe like every single season, sometimes twice a season, figure out what things that I would like to add. But yeah, to answer your question, I work hard, I save my money, I never impulse buy, and I actually don't spend that much money. My normal week, I literally could go a whole day, a whole few days without spending any money. I would maybe spend money on, like, apart from bills and everything, the food shop, I might go out to get a coffee. If I go to London, I obviously will pay for like the train, and I'll probably go for lunch with some friends. But apart from that, I really don't spend much. I don't go shopping a lot. And when I do, I might buy things that I've had in my mind for ages, that I know I'm going to wear. It's not going to be a waste of money. And I'm just quite clever with buying. I always say to you, whenever I do fashion videos or hauls, I always like to say to you, never to impulse buy. Always write a list of what you want, things that you think that are going to be amazing for you, things that you think are going to fit into your life, into your wardrobe, whatever it is, and factor that into your spending. So if you want, I don't know, for example, say my totem jacket, for example, because I had a lot of questions about that jacket because it's a very expensive piece and it's a lot of money to spend on a jacket. But I have wanted that jacket since last year, maybe even the year before. I've thought about it a lot, and it's something that's been on my wish list for a really, really long time. And I always make sure I put my money away into like different savings accounts for different things. So I've always got a little bit of money that is spare that I can spend on something, whether that's a new pair of shoes, a bag, a trip, a holiday, whatever it is, something that's unnecessary that I don't actually need, but it's something that I would like. So I would never buy something, go on a trip when I couldn't afford it. I always make sure that I have enough money to cover all costs for everything. And yeah, that is basically how. I hope that helps you. I don't know, I guess it's just interesting, isn't it? I'm so nosy as well, so I completely get the question. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit of brow gel in. This is a really old Benefit brow gel, but I literally barely use it, so it's lasted me a really long time. I'm using the camera to do my makeup, by the way, so I hope this is okay. But I literally just brush through my brows like so, and that is it. I don't fill my brows in, they're really dark and they're quite thick, so I don't really need to. Okay, and then I always do my lips before I do my mascara. I don't know why, but I don't really like looking at my face when I've got like pale foundation concealer on my lips. So I always like to get my lips done before I start the rest of my makeup. Okay, so I'm going to start by using a lip balm. This is the Honest Beauty Tinted Lip Balm, and I absolutely love this. It's in the shade Summer Melon, and it's just so gorgeous. I sometimes use this just with a lip liner, but it's really hydrating and it's a nice like little bit of colour. Okay, next question. I've got quite a lot left, so let's fly through them. Any pets, question mark. Yes, I have a dog. She is a Yorkshire Terrier called Gracie, who you probably have seen loads in my videos before. She is 14 and I got her when I was in year 6, so yes, she's very old. My absolute baby, the light of our life. Like, she is literally a part of our family. I call her my sister. My mum is like, she's basically your sister. She's like a daughter. But yes, she is very old and she does live with my mum, so I don't see her every single day, but whenever I see my mum, I always make sure to go around to see her because she's just literally the light of my life. And hopefully when we move house, we will be getting our own dog, and I cannot wait. I am so excited. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably know what type of dog that we want, but oh my god, I cannot wait. I need to go and get my lip liner because it's in my handbag from the weekend. Okay, so my absolute favourite lip liner that I wear every day, and I have done for the past year or two, is the MAC lip liner in the shade Spice. I absolutely love it. It's just such a nice, like, warm pinky nude. I love it. So I'm going to just overline my lips a tiny bit. I basically line them like where the ridge of my lip is, if that makes sense. So like you can already see on my face how much better that looks. Like I already look like finished. So I'm then going to use this lipstick I have been loving. I always kind of go between lipsticks, either Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk or this one, and I'm leaning back towards this one at the minute. I absolutely love it. It's the Givenchy Le Rouge Sheer Velvet. It's such a nice consistency because it's not super dry. It's not that matte, but it's just a really nice colour. I love it. And then if I was to do a gloss, which sometimes I like a glossy lip, sometimes I want to just have like colour, I always use the Hourglass really amazing lip glosses. They're the ones where you like roll them up, and they're super glossy balms. They're so nice. They're a really nice mix between like a lip balm and a gloss. And I have the shade Mist, and honestly it's incredible. I'm going to put it on just so I can show you how glossy it is. How nice. Like, you really don't need a lot, and it's so hydrating. It's not sticky. I just absolutely love it. Okay, before I do my mascara, I'm going to answer a few more questions. Do you ever feel like you're missing out on the London life and meeting new people because you chose to stay in the countryside? I've just graduated and I'm thinking of moving to London, but I'm a real countryside girl and love getting back to the fields. That's so nice, because that is literally me. Like, I've never ever wanted to live in London. Even when I was younger, when I was at uni, when I first started uni, I always wanted to live at home. I lived at home throughout uni, so I never had like a uni life. I never lived in halls, I never had to move anywhere. And to be honest, I love going to London. I love staying for the night with my friends, going to a hotel at the weekend with Jack, staying over for work. But once I've had 2 or 3 days, I'm ready to leave. It's just too much for me. It doesn't suit me. I love being on my own. I love quiet. I love having countryside. I love having the space, and that lifestyle is just so much more me than a London lifestyle. I just love the fact that we can walk into town, go to a local pub. Everyone is so lovely, so kind, so chatty, really welcoming. I say good morning to people in the mornings. I say good afternoon. I have chats. Like, it's just so much friendlier. And I like the fact that at 7 p.m. the roads are quiet, the shops are shut, no one's around, everyone's in their houses. I don't know why, I just like it. It makes me feel relaxed and calm, and for me that's like what's so important in your life. So yeah, London just isn't my thing. It's not for me. But I completely get that some people love living in London and having like their family live in the countryside and they go back for the weekend. That's a really nice balance. So I think you just do what works for you, but I never feel like I'm missing out. I know that I can go into London whenever I want. I know that I could stay at my friends if I wanted to. I can stay in a hotel. I just don't feel like I'm missing out at all. How tall are you? I am 160 centimetres, so I'm about 5'3". How much filler have you had? Okay, so I haven't really had that much. I've had Botox here in my eyebrows because I used to have the worst frown. I remember when I was at school, my mum and my brother would sometimes pick me up, and I'd walk to the car and I'd have my headphones in and I'd just be like in my own world. And he used to say to me, why do you look so angry? You always look angry. And just like my whole life, my mum, my brother, Jack, they've always said to me like, why are you so angry? And I'm like, I'm not angry. But I think my resting face was just like this, like an actual cartoon with like black eyebrows like that. So I think it was last year, I went to see Dr. Rupert, which is where I get my lips done. And I said to him, like, I'm getting really bad headaches because I'm constantly frowning and I'm constantly looking on my laptop and I'm always like this. Like, I'd catch myself in the window on the train, or at home, like I'd gone my front camera by accident, and I'm just like that the whole time. So I had a tiny bit of Botox in my eyebrows here. It's actually worn off quite a lot now. Like, you can still see like some lines. I've had it for 5 months, so I'm due a top up. But best thing I've ever done. I absolutely loved it, and it just softened my eyebrows so much more, but I can obviously still move them. So I also have had filler in my lips. I've had filler about 4 times, I would say now. Every time I started off by getting 0.5 mil, and then now when I go back, Dr. Rupert tailors it to what I need, because some parts of my lips will dissolve quicker, some parts will really retain the filler. So we kind of just like work on the shape of my lips, and rather than saying like, okay, 0.5 mil and that's it, we work to like certain areas. So recently when I went back, my bottom lip was normal, fine, like the same as before. The filler had stayed really well, but my top lip had really deflated. So we just focused on like the edge of my top lip to just give it a bit more definition from the side. And yeah, super natural. I never ever want my filler to look unnatural or like I've had anything done, and I'm so happy with it, I cannot tell you. The reason I actually got my lips done in the first place, which I really want to talk about, was because I had composite bonding on my teeth. So on my top teeth I had composite on 4 teeth, the 2 next to my big ones here, and those teeth were really little, and I had a lot of black space and gaps. So I literally just got composite to fill them out. My teeth are quite straight, so I didn't really need to have like Invisalign or anything. I literally just wanted those gaps filled. But after I had that done, my teeth were obviously a lot bigger because they were so small before, and I felt like my lips were so lost. Like, as soon as I got my teeth composite, I looked at myself and thought like, all you look like is teeth. Like, it's just giving big teeth. So that's when I went to Dr. Rupert and said, I'm just not happy. Like, I don't want to look like I've had lip filler, but I need more volume. Like, it just feels off balance to me, and I'm just not confident and happy with it. So yeah, that is why I got my lips done. and I couldn't be happier, and I love it. I'm so happy. If you want to try something, try it, but make sure you are going to a really good doctor. They have to have medical experience, they have to be good at their job and know that you're going in there and asking for something and they might say, no, you don't need it. Like, don't do that, do something else. This is gonna be much better, more longevity, blah blah blah. So yeah, I couldn't recommend Dr. Rupert enough. I think he is amazing, and Viva Skin are so good. Like, their whole ethos is natural enhancements, and that is why I love them. Okay, let's do another question. What's your biggest dream as far as career goes? Oh, that's a really good question. By the way, I'm just going to do my mascara with Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes, which is my favourite mascara. This is so good for like really getting your lashes lifted. And like elongated. I'm just going to get a little mirror to do this because I can't really see. My biggest career goals, one thing I absolutely love about my job is that there are so many elements to it. You can go down a more content creation route, you can go down a styling route, you can go down interiors, home, fitness. Like, there's so many areas to the job, which I love. But I would say my biggest goal is to... Obviously, I had Monday the Studio, which is my content creation business, and I've kind of merged that with my influencer stuff. So I now will add on content creation as part of that side of the job. So that as a business isn't really a standalone thing. So I would love to start something else that could almost be a proper business standalone that isn't connected to me and my influencer stuff. Especially for when I'm older and want to have a family, I would love to have something that I could get my mum or like employees, and it can kind of run itself. So I have a few ideas of what I would like to do, but it's going to be a big process. It's not about fashion, it's not beauty. I think you can probably guess what it is. But yeah, I've got a long way to go, but with our house renovation next year, I think I'm gonna kind of like start on the way, and I'm so excited. I'm so young, I'm only 24, so I've got all my life ahead of me to do all of these things. So I just think it's so nice to have dreams and goals and focus towards things, and yeah, just have like things in your head that you want to manifest. Literally, this mascara is insane. I love it, and I don't think I will ever use another mascara. It's so good. Okay, so that's my makeup done. I'm just going to set my face with the Airbrush Flawless Filter Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, another must-have. I absolutely love this product. It keeps your makeup on for hours, and it is so nice. It gives a really nice finish. Okay, so I think I've answered quite a good amount of questions. Sorry if I didn't get to answer your question, but I had so many good ones, so maybe I can do a part 2. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and you've now seen my everyday makeup. Everything I use will be linked below, shades, links, everything. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you're not already. I'll leave everything linked below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!